morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Wednesday the 28th of October. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, bullish start to the morning. Going to see Bitcoin avoid the pivot at 13,483, support a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 13,912. Going to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break out from yesterday's late high 13,769. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 14,000 to pin Bitcoin back. In the event of breakout, could see Bitcoin visit 14,200 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 14,198. Failure to avoid a fallback through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 13,197 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should steer well clear of sub 13,000s. Second major support level sits at 12,768. Looking at the MACDs, we're seeing a narrowing of the bullish histograms, but no bearish cross yet, so we need to keep an eye on that through the morning. On the EMAs, however, we are seeing the 50 pull away from the 100 and the 200, supportive of this bullish start to the day. So keep through the morning, avoid the pivot, break out from yesterday's high to then bring the first major resistance level and 14,000s into play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, slightly bearish start to the morning. Going to see Ethereum avoid the pivot at 402.62 to support a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 414.89. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum breakout from yesterday's high at 411.77. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of breakout, could see Ethereum test resistance at 420 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 424.04. Fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 339.47 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should steer well clear of the second major support level sitting at 381.20. Looking at the MACDs, we've seen a marked narrowing of the bullish histograms and a possible bearish cross coming up, so we need to keep an eye on the MACDs. On the EMAs, however, we're seeing the 50 narrow on the 100 and pull away from the 200, suggestive of further upside in the day ahead. So avoiding the pivot and breaking out from yesterday's high 411.77 would bring resistance levels into play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, choppy start to the morning. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid a fallback through the pivot at 57.92 to take a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 59.32. Support from the broader market to break out from yesterday's high at 59.10. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to pin Litecoin back. In the event of breakout, could see Litecoin visit 60 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 60.51. Fallback through the pivot will bring the first major support level sitting at 56.73 into play. Barring an external sell-off on the day, it should steer well clear of sub 55s. Second major support level sitting at 55.33 should limit any downside. Looking at the MACDs, after a late bearish cross yesterday, we're seeing a narrowing of the bearish histograms, but nothing conclusive to provide direction early on. On the EMAs, the 50 and the 100 are also holding steady against the 200, also inconclusive. So avoiding a fallback through the pivot and a break back through to 559 levels would be needed to support further upside on the day. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, bearish start to the morning here. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid the pivot at 0.2516 to support a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 0.2553. Going to see support from the broader market for Litecoin break out from yesterday's high, that was at 0.2542. Barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to pin Ripple's XRP back. In the event of a breakout, could see resistance at 0.26 come into play. That should limit any upside on the day. The second major resistance level sits at 0.2579. Fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level sitting at 0.2491 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should steer well clear of the second major support level, sitting at 0.2454. Looking at the MACD, we've got a slight narrowing of the bullish histogram after yesterday's late bullish cross, bringing this negative trend into play early on. On the EMAs, nothing conclusive, however, with the 50 and the 200 and the 100 holding steady in the early part of the morning. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 0.2516 and break out from yesterday's high 2542 to support further upside on the day.